The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
All right, we're back again, and we do appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you. You've got The Local Show. If you're wondering what you're listening to, it's a local show about local shows, about local businesses.
You remember 6 years ago when this thing was an idea?
Yes.
And we're like, okay, we're going to do a local show. What are we going to call it? And we're like throwing names around, and we kept saying, what do we call this local show? What are we going to name it? And I remember going, Tom, why don't we just call it the Local Show? You go, sounds good. And I remember you were very resolute, and you're not always. Sometimes you're not afraid to share your opinion with me.
Right,
and,
sure.
You're like, yeah, why not?
The Local Show, yeah.
And it's kind of stuck.
Yeah, it worked out well. So, we get a lot of local businesses, and Steve, we have somebody here now who's new to the show, but the business has been around Syracuse for a long time. His name is Zach Harding. He's a sales executive and energy advisor for the Commercial Power and Gas division of Mirabito Energy. So, how are you, Zach?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you for being here. So, did you meet Steve somewhere? Is that how you get connected with us?
So,
Go ahead, tell the story.
I met Steve last week at our yearly company vendor golf outing at Turning Stone Casino. I met Dan Bowers the night before at our mixer, and the next day he introduced me to Steve at the golf course, and
Well, I actually hit him with a golf ball, Tom. I yelled, but he didn't move.
I returned the favor.
Yes. So, Zach, are you homegrown or from Syracuse?
Yep, born and raised in Syracuse.
What side of town?
Grew up in Liverpool. Went to St. Margaret's Elementary School in Mattydale.
There you go.
Went to Bishop Ludden High School.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then went to college in Cleveland, Ohio, small Jesuit school, John Carroll University.
Interesting.
And then
What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for marketing and entrepreneurship.
Oh, those marketing people are annoying.
Right. Can't get rid of them.
And entrepreneurship, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was my minor. So, and then moved back right after graduation and started working here locally.
Did you travel with your clubs, or did you pick it up later? Or were you a golfer as a kid, or how'd you go?
I wish I was. I would probably be a little better. But I picked it up when I moved back, actually. So I've been, golfing for, 6-7 years now.
There you go.
So when you got back to town, you had some other jobs before Mirabito, or?
Yeah, so I worked for a local company called JGB Enterprises at the time. Now it is called Echelon Supply and Service.
They made the hose thing.
Industrial and hydraulic hose products. So they assemble industrial and hydraulic hose products, both on the government and commercial side.
I see.
Yep. So I was on the commercial side. I did that for 6.5 years. And I've been at Mirabito for almost 2 years now.
So you're pretty used to dealing with companies, commercial companies. You're not a residential kind of guy.
Correct. Right. Correct. Everything I've done is all commercial based.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So now, Mirabito, give us the history of that. We were just kind of joking that back when Steve and I were your age, people used to call it Mirabito, right. But it's always been Mirabito,
yep.
And they've kind of morphed and got into different things over the years. So give us a history.
So Mirabito is a full-on energy company. We do everything from, obviously, we have the convenience stores. We have about 110 convenience stores.
Gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yep. I'm on the commercial power and gas side, so any commercial business here in New York State, with the energy market, it's deregulated here in New York State. Mm-hmm. So any commercial business here in New York State has a choice of what supplier they want for electric and natural gas.
So it doesn't have to be Nat Grid all the time.
So National Grid will always be the delivery service. They'll always be the utility provider. So the supply side is where we come in.
So I buy the fuel from you, and it's their hose to bring it in, kind of thing.
Correct.
Is that what I hear you saying?
Right. Correct. Like it's our beverage, but they are the truck that delivers.
There
it
we
much,
go.
Right. So that's where we come in, and we have two other divisions: home comfort and HVAC. So like home propane, heating oil, and then we also do branded and unbranded commercial fuel as well. So we sell fuel to other gas stations as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I see. Where do you get the fuel from?
We buy, just
on the
all
open
over.
market.
Yeah, all over.
Is a lot of it stateside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not buying from the Middle East or anything like that.
I don't think so. No, I'm not too familiar with that side of the business, but sure. I'm most of it is stateside. We have a lot of good partners here nationally.
So the C-stores, that's what I call them, convenience stores. There's over 100 of those. How spread out are those? Where are those?
So they mainly are from the the Binghamton to Watertown corridor, I would say. There's a couple spread out through Rochester to Albany as well. Up toward Plattsburgh too. We have one or two, but mainly Binghamton to Watertown is really where our niche is.
Did you guys buy a bunch of other ones and rebrand them, or has this just been a growing thing?
Yeah, it's been acquiring different sites, building on new ground, breaking new ground. We've been redoing a lot of our older C stores as of late, and we've been also buying new land to build new C stores as well.
All right, because I see them everywhere. I mean, I'm out and about.
Right.
I don't know.
Would we be putting you in an awkward position, because I know that you're mainly commercial power and gas, but if we say what's the difference between your C stores and other ones, the competition out there?
I think it's just we offer relatively similar products that every other C store does. Right. It's I guess location I think is huge. Where you're driving, where it's centered. We have a new facility coming online right by Micron.
By Route 31?
Right by Route 31 that we are going to be, putting up here shortly.
Where's that? Like near Cicero or the other way?
Yeah, right near Clay, right?
Okay,
right Clay on 31.
All
so
right.
it's really, I think, location is huge. And after that, we offer, pretty much, most of the same things that.
So most important question about the C stores, how's the coffee?
It's great. It's the best.
Are you a coffee guy?
I am a coffee guy.
Oh, okay.
I am a coffee guy.
Are you partnered with anybody that we would know?
So we have some partnerships with Subway and Dunkin' Donuts in our C stores.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, they used to have Tim Hortons up in Brewerton, and I loved that.
Yeah, that's what Lori was saying.
Yeah. I used to love that. I used to get their egg, ham, and cheese.
Yeah, Lori worked for Tim Hortons that store, I think.
That's what she was saying.
She was the queen of the place.
No kidding. Yeah.
10 years ago, 12, 15 years ago, whatever it was.
Hortons left town with their tail between their legs.
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts ran them out.
But yeah, those are, I think, two of our bigger partnerships. We also have our own brand of food, coffee as well too.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
You can buy
little bit of
bait.
both.
You can buy bait at the one in Cicero or in Brewerton there, I think. Don't you guys? I think one of those stores they actually sell worms.
In Brewerton, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, that's a perfect spot for it.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. So you're part of the business. Are you calling on other businesses daily? Are you walking around, or how are you doing it? Knocking on doors?
So it really depends on the business. I feel like, smaller businesses, you can walk in the front door and kind of talk to the decision maker right away, depending on what business it is. When you're going after bigger, manufacturing plants, doctor's offices, bigger businesses, that's more of a prospect, get who you need to talk to on the back office and try to set a meeting.
Do people realize that they can buy from a third party, or do they we can do that?
Right.
Or are they surprised with that?
It's there's a lot of educating that goes into it. A lot of people don't know that they have the option of a supplier on the commercial side. So, that's a lot of where I come into play, is just educating the consumer, letting them know that they do have an option, and then, letting us run a full analysis for them for electric, natural gas, and give them our options.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk to you more about this and unpack a little more about Mirabito. We're talking with Zach Harding. He's a sales executive and energy advisor over at Mirabito Energy. And you stick around, because you're going to hear more about this whole thing on the local show on 570 WSYR. Don't go away.